The day has already begun to loosen its hold. Beyond the window, a gentle rain moves across the old canal town, touching the rooftops, the narrow bridges, and the quiet water below. Nothing in the rain is hurried. It falls in fine, even threads, soft enough to leave the evening calm. For a while, there is nowhere else you need to be. The tasks of the day can remain where they are. Tonight, a small bookshop waits beside the canal, its upper windows warm behind the rain, and a simple room beneath its sloping roof has been prepared for you. You stand near the door of a quiet lodging house at the edge of the old quarter. A navy umbrella rests in the stand beside you. Its curved wooden handle is smooth from many journeys, and a narrow brass band circles the place where the handle meets the folded fabric. On the table lies a brass bookmark. It is no longer than your hand and shaped like a slender leaf. One side carries the outline of an open book. The other shows 3 small waves, the mark used by the bookshop beside the canal. You lift the bookmark and place it in the inner pocket of your coat. Its weight is slight but noticeable. It is not a ticket and not quite a key. It is simply a sign that a room and a book are waiting for you at the end of the evening walk. Your coat settles comfortably across your shoulders. A soft scarf rests around your neck. You take the navy umbrella from its stand, open the door, and step beneath the covered entrance. The rain smells clean against the stone street. It carries a trace of wet leaves, chimney smoke, and the dark wooden beams of the nearby houses. The air is cool enough to feel clear, yet mild enough that the rain remains gentle. You open the umbrella. The navy canopy rises above you with one quiet movement. Raindrops begin to gather there at once, making a soft pattern that is close and steady, like fingertips moving lightly across cloth. The lodging house door closes behind you. Its amber window remains at your back while you begin down the street. The old quarter slopes gradually toward the canal, and the rainwater follows the edges of the paving stones in narrow silver lines. There are only a few people outside. A baker lowers the awning over a darkened window. A cyclist passes at an easy pace, tires whispering across the wet street. Farther ahead, someone carrying a basket crosses beneath an archway and disappears into the warm hall beyond. No one is in a hurry. The rain has made the town quieter without making it empty. Windows glow behind thin curtains. Small lamps above doorways shine on polished steps. Every sound arrives softened by water. You walk at the pace that feels natural. The umbrella keeps a small circle of dry air around your head and shoulders. Rain touches the outer edge of your coat now and then, but never enough to feel cold. At the first corner, a stone channel carries water toward a grated opening. The stream is clear and shallow. A few yellow leaves travel along it, turning slowly as they pass beneath the light from a tailor's window. The tailor has finished work for the day. 2 wooden forms stand behind the glass, each covered with a length of folded wool. A shaded lamp remains on above the cutting table, illuminating a pair of silver scissors and a row of wooden spools. You continue past the window. The town seems to offer one small room after another, each complete behind its glass. There is nothing you need to enter and nothing you need to carry away. It is enough to notice the light, then let it remain behind you. The street narrows beneath a row of overhanging upper floors. Their dark beams almost meet above the lane, creating a sheltered passage. Rain still reaches the center, but the stones near the walls are dry. You lower the umbrella for a few steps and listen to the change. Without the patter above you, the rain sounds farther away. It moves along roofs, gutters, and window ledges, surrounding the passage with a low, even hush. A small pottery shop occupies the corner. Its door is closed, but bowls and cups fill the shelves inside. Their glazes are the colors of the evening: gray-blue, moss green, cream, and the amber brown of tea. One cup near the window has a tiny painted line around its rim. The line bends like the canal on an old map. You imagine warm apple tea inside it, though there is no need to stop. The bookshop keeps a kettle of its own. At the end of the passage, the lane opens onto a small square. 4 plane trees stand around a stone basin. Their leaves hold beads of rain, and water darkens the pale trunks in irregular lines. The basin does not contain a fountain. It simply gathers the rain. Rings spread across its surface whenever a drop falls from one of the branches. Each ring widens, touches another, and disappears without leaving any edge behind. You open the umbrella again and cross the square. A clock above the old post office shows a little after 8. Its hands move without sound. The evening ahead contains plenty of time. Beyond the square, the ground begins to level. The scent of the canal becomes clearer. Cool stone, wet wood, and water moving slowly beneath bridges. A row of low iron lamps leads toward it. Each lamp has a hood of dark green metal and a round pane of amber glass. Rain slides over the hoods and falls from their edges. On the pavement below, the light becomes long and soft, broken by the passing drops. The brass bookmark rests inside your coat as you walk. Occasionally it touches the fabric with a faint, reassuring weight. The open book on one side and the 3 waves on the other remain hidden, but easy to remember. You pass beneath another arch, this one built through an old warehouse. The brick walls hold the day's remaining warmth. Wooden doors stand open on one side, revealing a courtyard where empty handcarts rest beneath a roof. Rain taps the glass skylights above the courtyard. The sound is slightly brighter there, yet still gentle. It follows you through the arch and fades as the canal comes into view. The water is wider than the streets suggest. It moves between stone embankments, dark blue beneath the clouded sky. Reflections from lamps and windows make quiet ladders of gold across the surface. A narrow towpath follows the near bank. Plane trees lean above it, and old iron rings remain set into the stone from a time when boats were pulled along the canal by rope. Tonight the rings hold only rainwater and reflected light. You turn onto the towpath. The umbrella fits easily beneath the lower branches. Drops fall from leaf to leaf before reaching the canopy, adding a second, slower rhythm to the fine rain. Across the water, houses rise directly from the opposite embankment. Their lower walls are stone, their upper floors timber and plaster. Small balconies hold boxes of rosemary and trailing ivy, darkened by the rain. One window contains a reading lamp and an empty chair. Another shows a kitchen table with a loaf beneath a cloth. A third is almost completely hidden by a curtain, leaving only a line of amber at its edge. The canal carries every reflection without holding it still. Gold lines lengthen, narrow, and gather again. The houses themselves remain steady while their light moves gently below. Ahead, the first bridge forms a low stone arch. A lamp stands at each end. The wet parapet shines, and a small flight of steps rises from the towpath to the roadway above. You take the steps slowly. Water gathers at the outer edge of each one, leaving the center clear. Your shoes make a mild, certain sound against the stone. From the top of the bridge, you can see farther along the canal. Several bends carry the water between roofs and trees. Near the third bend, a green door stands beneath a striped awning, and 2 upper windows glow above it. That is the bookshop. It is not far away, but the walk does not need to end quickly. You pause beneath the umbrella and watch the rain move through the lamplight. The drops are small enough to seem almost suspended before they reach the water. A covered boat is tied to a ring below the bridge. Its dark red canopy holds a clean sheen of rain. The boat rises by the slightest amount when water passes beneath it, then settles again beside the stone. No engine starts. No rope is untied. The boat belongs to the quiet arrangement of the canal tonight, just as the bridge, lamps, and bookshop windows do. You cross to the center of the bridge. The umbrella handle feels warm in your hand. Wind does not pull at the canopy. The evening is too sheltered for that, held between rows of old houses and trees. At the far side, you follow the road for one short block before descending another set of steps to the towpath. The bookshop remains ahead on the opposite side now, visible between branches. The route curves with the canal. A low railing separates the path from the water. Rain beads along its top bar, creating a row of clear points that catch each passing lamp. A tea room is closing near the bend. The owner carries 2 small signs inside and leaves a lantern burning above the door. Through the window, chairs have been placed upside down on tables, except for one near the stove. The stove holds a low red center. A kettle remains on top, releasing no steam now. The room looks ready to rest until morning. You pass the tea room and enter a section of towpath lined with old bookstalls. Their shutters are closed for the night. Painted names appear above them: maps, music, natural history, letters, and travel. Rain has deepened the colors of the shutters. Blue looks almost navy. Green becomes the color of wet leaves. The brass handles hold small drops at their lowest points. One stall has left a narrow shelf beneath its awning. On it sits a wooden box marked "Free for Travelers." The box contains a few folded town maps and several postcards. You lift one postcard and look at the drawing. It shows the canal in summer, with open windows and bright awnings. The same bridges appear, though tonight they are softer beneath rain and evening light. You return the postcard to the box. Summer can remain in its picture. The gentle rain is enough for this walk. The second bridge approaches. It is made of iron and painted the same green as the canal lamps. Its walkway is flat, and the railings form simple, repeating curves. You step onto it. The sound of rain changes again, tapping metal instead of stone. The rhythm is slightly clearer beneath your feet and on the narrow beams beside you. Halfway across, you look toward the bookshop. The green door is closer now. A brass lantern hangs above it, sending a warm oval across the striped awning. The 2 upper windows belong to the reading room and the attic landing. Behind one pane, shelves rise nearly to the ceiling. Behind the other, a shaded lamp rests on a round table. Nothing moves quickly there. The bridge leads you to the correct side of the canal. At its end, the towpath widens beneath a line of chestnut trees. Their leaves form a roof that catches much of the rain. You close the umbrella and let the last drops run from its edge. The fabric folds around the frame with a soft rustle. For several minutes, the trees provide enough shelter. Here, the canal wall is lower. You can see the dark water near the path and the small circles made by rain. They appear, widen, and pass into one another until no circle can be followed alone. Your breathing settles into the pace of the walk. There is no instruction in it, only the simple movement of cool air in and warmer air out. The town does not ask you to notice. It simply becomes easier to notice because nothing is pressing forward. The bookshop is still 2 bends away. Between you and its green door stands a small covered market. Most of the tables are empty, their canvas roofs rolled down against the rain. One fruit seller remains beneath the center light. She places the last apples into shallow wooden trays. Their skins are muted red and yellow. with small drops of water shining near the stems. The scent reaches the path: fresh apple, damp wood, and a trace of cinnamon from the stall beside hers. It is the same mild scent that will later rise from the bookshop kettle. The seller covers the trays with a clean cloth. She lowers the lamp and closes the gate without hurry. The market becomes another sheltered room waiting for morning. You continue beneath its roof. Your closed umbrella hangs from one hand. Drops fall from its tip at regular intervals and join the thin stream running between the paving stones. At the far side, the rain is still falling. You open the umbrella once more. The familiar pattern returns above you, quiet and close. A narrow garden occupies the space between the market and the next house. Ferns lean over a low wall. Lavender has been cut back for the season, leaving neat gray-green stems. A wooden gate carries a small brass number. The rain has gathered the garden scents and lowered them near the path. Earth, rosemary, old brick, and leaves remain for a few steps, then yield to the cool air above the canal. The next bend reveals the bookshop sign clearly. It hangs perpendicular to the building from a curved iron bracket. A painted open book rests above 3 blue waves. The same marks are pressed into the brass bookmark in your pocket. Below the sign, the shop window is divided into 6 panes. Books stand in small groups on a dark wooden platform. None of the covers are arranged to demand attention. They simply wait beneath 2 shaded lamps. One book is bound in moss-green cloth. Another has a cream cover stamped with a single gold star. A third is narrow and navy, with no title visible from the path. Between them rests a shallow bowl containing smooth gray stones from the canal bank. A sprig of rosemary lies beside it. The display has the calm order of objects that have been left exactly where they belong. You are close enough now to see rain moving down the window. Each drop makes the books briefly waver, though nothing inside has shifted. The green door stands beneath the striped awning. It is painted a deep, muted shade, darker at the edges where years of hands and weather have worn the surface smooth. A brass lantern hangs above the entrance. Its glass is slightly clouded, and the flame-shaped bulb inside gives a steady amber light. Beneath it, a narrow bench offers a dry place to close the umbrella. You step under the awning. The rain continues just beyond its edge. Water runs from the striped fabric in an even row of drops, each one falling to the stone channel below. You close the umbrella and give it one gentle turn so the water leaves the canopy. A stand beside the door contains 3 empty spaces. You place the umbrella in the first one, with its wooden handle facing outward. Without the umbrella above you, the rain becomes part of the wider evening again. It touches the canal, the awning, the leaves, and every nearby roof. No single sound rises above the rest. The brass bookmark comes from your coat pocket. It has warmed against the fabric. Under the lantern, the open bookmark is easy to see, along with the 3 small waves on the reverse. Beside the door is a narrow slot lined with green felt. You slide the lower end of the bookmark into it. A small mechanism turns somewhere inside the frame, quiet as a clock behind a wall. The door opens inward by the width of a hand. Warm air reaches the covered step. It carries old paper, cedar shelves, apple peel, and the mild heat of a cast-iron stove. You remove the bookmark from the slot. The door has recognized its simple purpose, but the brass leaf still belongs with you for the evening. You return it to your pocket and enter. A woven mat rests inside the threshold. You wipe the rain from your shoes and close the green door. The latch settles with a padded click. The bookshop receives you without any sudden brightness. Small lamps stand between shelves and on low tables. Their shades are cream, amber, and pale green. The light gathers around books rather than filling every corner. The entrance room is long and narrow. Shelves line both walls from floor to ceiling. A rolling ladder rests against a brass rail, though there is no need to climb it tonight. Near the door stands a wooden counter. A small bell sits there beside a ledger, but the bell does not need to be rung. A card has been placed on the polished surface with your room number and the words, "Welcome in from the rain." Behind the counter, an older shopkeeper arranges a stack of returned books. He wears a brown cardigan with deep pockets and moves at the settled pace of someone completing familiar work. He looks up and offers a quiet nod. No questions are required. The brass bookmark, briefly visible as you remove your coat, tells him that your room is ready. He takes the navy umbrella from the outer stand and places it in a warmer rack near the stove, where it can dry without dripping on the floor. Your coat hangs from a wide peg. The scarf folds easily over the peg beside it. Without their weight, your shoulders feel lighter. The bookshop air is warm, but not close. Somewhere toward the back, a kettle begins a low, almost musical murmur. The shopkeeper points to a chair near the stove, and then to the rooms beyond. You may sit first or wander first. The evening has been arranged, so either choice is correct. You choose to stand for another moment and look around. The first shelves hold books about the canal town. Gardens, bridges, local birds, old trades, and the seasons of the water. Small handwritten cards identify each section in dark green ink. A wool rug follows the center aisle. Its pattern is made of faded blue lines that bend and meet like waterways on a map. Your footsteps become almost silent as you move farther inside. Rain travels down the shop window behind you. The green door, the umbrella, the coat, and the evening street remain close, yet safely on the other side of warm glass and wood. At the end of the entrance room, the shop widens into a square reading room. 4 low bookcases form quiet islands around a round table. A cast-iron stove stands against the far wall, its dark surface holding a copper kettle. The kettle sends a thin thread of steam into the lamplight. Beside it waits a small ceramic pot painted with apples and leaves. The shopkeeper enters through another aisle carrying a wooden tray. On it are the apple pot, a cream cup, a covered dish, and a folded cloth napkin. He places the tray on the round table. When he lifts the lid of the pot, the scent of warm apple and cinnamon opens gently into the room. The tea is pale gold. It contains no sharp spice and no strong sweetness. A few dried apple slices rest at the bottom of the pot, giving the water a soft fruit scent. The covered dish holds 2 small oat biscuits. Their edges are lightly browned, and each one carries the mark of a leaf pressed into the surface. You sit in the chair nearest the window. It has a curved wooden back and a green cushion, firm enough to support you without asking you to remain upright. The shopkeeper pours the tea, then returns to the counter. His footsteps fade along the rug. The reading room settles around the kettle, the lamps, and the continuing rain. You hold the cup with both hands. Warmth moves into your fingers. The porcelain is smooth, with the same painted canal line you noticed earlier in the pottery shop window. Perhaps the potter makes cups for several rooms in town. Perhaps the line is simply a familiar local pattern. The thought can remain unfinished. The first sip tastes of apple skin, warm water, and a little cinnamon. Nothing in it is strong enough to wake the senses. It is a flavor that stays briefly, then clears for the next quiet breath. Outside the reading room window, the canal runs close to the building. Rain gathers on the outer sill and falls in silver drops. The water below receives each one without changing its slow direction. The opposite bank is visible through branches. Lamps make soft patches among the leaves. Occasionally, A person with an umbrella crosses the bridge, appearing for a few moments and then passing beyond the frame. You take one biscuit from the dish. It breaks without effort. The oat center is soft and only faintly sweet. A small crumb rests on the napkin and can remain there until later. Around you, the reading room offers many books and no demand to choose quickly. Their spines form rows of cloth, paper, leather, and faded gold. Some are thin enough for an evening. Others contain more pages than any one visit could hold. The brass bookmark returns to your palm. Under the table lamp, its leaf shape seems warmer. You turn it once, open book upward, then 3 waves upward, before placing it beside the cup. It has guided you from the lodging house, along the wet streets, across 2 bridges, and through the green door. Its next task is smaller, to keep a place in whatever book you choose. You finish half the tea before rising. The cup can remain on the tray. Heat stays within it, and the chair will be waiting when you return. The nearest bookcase is labeled Quiet Journeys. The card has been written in the same dark green ink as the others. On its shelves are journals, walking notes, river observations, and small books about rooms found at the end of roads. You run one finger along the spines without pulling anything free. Linen, paper, and smooth leather pass beneath your hand. A few titles are stamped clearly. Others have softened with age. One slim volume is bound in navy cloth. A small silver line crosses its cover. When you lift it from the shelf, the pages open naturally near the center. The book contains sketches of bridges in rain. Each drawing is made with simple ink lines and a pale wash of gray-blue. There are no people in the pictures, only arches, railings, lamps, and water. You turn several pages. The bridges are from different towns, yet each seems related to the 2 you crossed tonight. Some are stone, some iron, some narrow enough for only one person at a time. The captions record ordinary details: the hour, the direction of the rain, the color of nearby doors. Nothing important is being proved. The artist has simply noticed what was there. You carry the book back to the chair and set it beside the brass bookmark. It may be the one you take upstairs, though there is still no need to decide. The second bookcase is labeled Rooms and Weather. Its shelves hold essays about porches, windows, attics, garden rooms, and the sounds made by rain on different roofs. A green volume contains a chapter on slate. A cream volume describes canvas awnings. A narrow brown book is devoted entirely to wooden shutters and the ways they change the sound of wind. You select the green book and open it near the beginning. The first page shows a roof drawn from above, each slate overlapping the next like calm, dark scales. Upstairs, the guest room has a slate roof. The shopkeeper mentioned it in the notes sent with the bookmark. Rain there will sound lower than it does on the shop window, softer than on metal, steadier than on leaves. You return the green volume to its place, knowing the roof is enough. Soon you will hear it for yourself. Beyond the bookcases, a short hallway leads to another room. A sign above the opening reads letters and small histories. The room is dimmer, lit by 2 lamps with green glass shades. Flat drawers line one wall. Behind glass doors are bundles of letters tied with ribbon, notebooks, old calendars, and albums of pressed leaves. Everything has been donated with permission to be read. You enter slowly. The floorboards give one mild sound and become still again. On a central table lies an open album containing rain notes collected over many years. Each page has a date, a few lines about the weather, and sometimes a small leaf fixed beneath translucent paper. One note mentions a gentle rain beginning after supper and continuing until the lamps were put out. Another records a quiet morning when the canal seemed the same color as the sky. The notes do not ask to be read in order. You turn several pages, noticing handwriting that changes from careful to loose, from dark ink to faded pencil. Tonight could fit among them. Fine rain after 8, lamps along the towpath, apples under cloth at the market, 2 bridges, 1 green door. You do not need to write it down. The evening is already complete while it is happening. A shallow drawer beneath the table contains blank cards. Each card has the open book and 3-wave mark in one corner. Guests may leave a line about something they noticed on the walk. You take 1 card and a pencil. For a moment, you consider what to write. Then a simple sentence arrives. The rain made every window seem warmer. You write it without adding a name. The pencil moves softly across the card. You place it in the wooden box at the end of the table, where it will rest among other small observations. The brass bookmark remains beside your cup in the reading room. There is no concern in leaving it there. Nothing in the bookshop is likely to move without purpose. You look once more at the rain album, then leave the letters to their quiet drawers. The next room is reached through a rounded doorway. Shelves here are lower, and a long window seat follows the canal wall. Cushions in gray, cream, and muted blue fill the seat from end to end. This is the water room. Books about rivers, ponds, rain, clouds, wells, and coastlines occupy the shelves. A brass model of a canal lock stands on a small table, its gates closed and its tiny water level perfectly still. The window is broad enough to show the canal from one bridge to the next. Rain moves down the panes in overlapping paths. Beyond them, the real water and reflected water seem to meet. You sit near the middle of the window seat. The cushion gives beneath you and supports your back against the wooden frame. From here, the sound of rain is fuller than in the reading room. Drops touch glass, the outer sill, leaves, and the canal below. Each surface gives the water a slightly different voice, but none is loud. A low boat passes beneath the nearest bridge. It moves by electric motor, quiet enough that the first sign of it is a pale bow light appearing under the arch. The boat carries covered crates and 1 person in a dark raincoat. It leaves only a small V on the canal. The lines widen toward both banks and fade before reaching the bookshop wall. Soon the boat is beyond the second bridge. The water returns to the smaller circles made by rain. You select a book from the shelf beside the seat. Its cover is gray cloth, and its title is simply Water at Evening. Inside are short descriptions of lakes, canals, wells, and harbors after daylight has faded. The pages are thick and slightly rough. A few contain blue woodcut illustrations. You read 1 paragraph about lamplight on a narrow river. The words move at an unhurried pace. Naming stone, willow, glass, and rain. When the paragraph ends, it leaves no question waiting to be answered. The book closes easily in your hands. You rest it on the cushion beside you and watch the canal instead. Time has become less exact inside the bookshop. The clock in the entrance room continues to move, but its sound does not reach the water room. The rain and lamps offer another kind of measure. A drop begins near the top of the window. It joins a second drop, travels past the reflection of a lamp, and disappears at the lower frame. Another takes a different path. None repeats exactly, though the effect remains steady. Your shoulders settle farther against the cushion. The warmth from the stove reaches this room as a low current beneath the cooler window air. After a while, the shopkeeper appears at the doorway. He carries the cup of apple tea on its saucer and the navy book of bridges beneath one arm. He sets both on the small table beside the window seat. The brass bookmark rests across the top of the book. Nothing has been forgotten. He tells you quietly that the upper room is ready whenever you wish to go there. The staircase is beyond the reading room. A second pot of tea and a pitcher of water have already been placed upstairs. There is still time to remain by the canal window. The shop will close to the street, but guests may continue reading in the water room until the lamps lower themselves at 10. You thank him. He nods and returns through the rounded doorway. The cup is still warm. You take another sip. Apple and cinnamon have become even softer as the tea rests. The navy book lies beneath the bookmark. Bridges in Rain. It has already begun to feel like the correct book for the attic room. Not because it contains a great story, but because its pages match the pace of the night. You slide the brass leaf between two pages near a drawing of a small covered bridge. The top of the bookmark remains visible, its open bookmark resting above the paper. The book closes around it without resistance. For several minutes, you read one caption at a time. A bridge at dusk. A bridge after market day. A footbridge beneath chestnut trees. A stone arch seen from a room above the water. The final drawing you view shows no bridge at all, only rain touching the empty place where a reflection would be. Its caption reads, "The crossing continues beyond the page." You let the book close again. Outside, the rain remains gentle. It has neither increased nor stopped. The town has accepted it as part of the evening. The nearest canal lamps cast smooth gold shapes now. Fewer windows remain bright across the water, but those that do seem warmer than before. Your teacup is nearly empty. One oat biscuit remains in the covered dish back in the reading room. It can wait for morning or for another guest. Nothing must be finished simply because it was offered. You lift the navy book and stand from the window seat. The gray cushion slowly returns to its shape. The water room stays behind you with its low shelves, brass lock model, and broad rainy window. It will remain available while you sleep above it. In the reading room, the kettle has been moved from the stove. The shopkeeper closes its small vent, leaving a steady red glow behind the iron door. The lamps on the round table are lower now. Your empty cup rests on the tray. The room has shifted from welcoming a traveler to keeping watch through the night. You cross the rug toward the staircase. At its foot stands a narrow table holding a ceramic bowl. Inside are 3 old keys, each attached to a wooden tag. Your key is the smallest. The tag carries the number 3 and a painted green door. The shopkeeper takes it from the bowl and places it in your palm. The key is iron, cool and simple. It joins the navy book and brass bookmark as another small object with one clear purpose. The staircase rises behind a curtain near the back wall. 12 wooden steps lead to a landing, turn, and continue beneath the sloping roof. A woven runner softens each footfall. The banister is cedar, smooth beneath your hand. Warm lamplight follows the wall at knee height, leaving the upper space calm and shadowed. You begin to climb. The first 12 steps carry you above the bookshop. Yet the rooms below do not disappear. Their quiet rises with you. It lives in the faint scent of paper, in the warmth held by the cedar rail, and in the soft amber line of lamplight beside your feet. At the landing, the staircase turns. Here, a narrow window looks across the canal. Rain moves over the glass in fine silver threads. Beyond it, the lanterns on the opposite bank have become soft circles, each one resting on a dark reflection of itself. The water receives the light and lengthens it, then lets it tremble apart. You pause for only a moment. The navy umbrella waits below in the brass stand. The little iron key rests in your hand. The navy book is tucked beneath your arm, and inside it the leaf-shaped bookmark keeps your place among the drawings of bridges. Nothing has been forgotten. You climb the remaining steps. They are shallower than the first ones. The sloping ceiling draws closer, and the sound of the rain becomes clearer. It is not louder. It is simply nearer now, touching the roof above you with thousands of light, patient taps. At the top is a short corridor beneath the eaves. 3 green doors stand along one wall. Small enamel numbers are fixed at eye level. 1, 2, and 3. Your key belongs to the last door. A shaded lamp hangs at the far end of the corridor. Its glow is low and honey-colored. On the floor, a wool runner carries a pattern of pale leaves that seem to drift toward your room. You follow them. The key turns easily in the lock. The green door opens inward without a sound. The room beyond is simple, warm, and complete. A narrow bed stands beneath the slope of the roof, made with white linen and a thick gray wool blanket. Beside it is a small wooden table with a ceramic lamp. Across from the bed, an armchair faces an attic window. A low chest rests under the window, and a woven rug covers the floorboards between the chair and the bed. There is no clock. There is no bright ceiling light. There is only the lamp, the rain, and the dim canal beyond the glass. You close the door behind you. The latch settles into place with a quiet click. For a few breaths, you remain just inside the room. The air carries the clean scent of linen, old wood, and a trace of dried lavender. It is cooler here than downstairs, but the coolness belongs only to the edges of the room. Near the bed and chair, warmth gathers gently. You set the iron key on the table. The navy book follows. You place it beside the lamp, and the brass leaf remains between its pages. Its curved tip shows above the cover, catching a narrow line of amber light. The 3 small objects of the evening are now where they need to be. The umbrella dries below. The key waits on the table. The bookmark rests inside the book. You cross to the attic window. The glass begins at the height of the chest and rises nearly to the roof beam. Its frame is painted the same deep green as the door. A brass hook holds it closed. Along the lower edge, rain has gathered into clear beads that join one another and travel slowly toward the corners. The canal lies directly below. From this height, you can see the 2 bridges you crossed earlier. The nearer bridge is partly hidden by the roof of the bookshop. The farther one is a small arch traced by 3 lanterns. Between them, the canal curves through the town like a dark ribbon laid carefully among the houses. The market awnings are folded. The square is empty. Chimneys and roof lines soften behind the rain. Nothing asks for attention. Even the reflections seem ready to sleep. You sit on the low chest beneath the window. The wood is covered by a flat cushion, firm and comfortable. For a while, you watch the rain without trying to follow any single drop. Some touch the glass and stay where they land. Some travel in winding paths. Some meet and become heavy enough to slide out of sight. The pattern changes constantly, but the feeling does not change. The rain remains light. The canal remains calm. The bookshop holds its quiet below you. Your breathing begins to match that steadiness. In, unhurried. Out, a little softer. You notice how far the day has moved away. The road to the town, the first view of the canal, the stone square, the market, the bridges, and the green door are all behind you now. They have not vanished. They have simply found their places in the evening. You do not need to revisit them. You do not need to arrange tomorrow. This room asks only that you arrive fully inside it. You stand and draw the curtain halfway across the window. It is thin linen, pale as mist. The canal lights remain visible through the uncovered half, while the rest of the room becomes more sheltered. On the chest, a folded garment has been left for you, a long cotton sleeping shirt, soft from many washings. Beside it lies a pair of wool socks. You take them behind a narrow screen in the corner. Your damp outer clothes slip away one layer at a time. The small chill at your cuffs and collar goes with them. You hang everything on wooden pegs, where the room's dry air can reach it. The cotton shirt settles lightly around you. The wool socks hold a quiet warmth at your feet. When you return from behind the screen, the room feels even more like your own resting place. You turn down the gray blanket. The white sheet beneath it is smooth and cool. 2 pillows wait at the head of the bed, one broad and soft, the other smaller and firmer. You arrange them without hurry, then leave the bed open while you sit in the armchair. The chair gives gently beneath you. Its arms are wide enough to support your hands. A small footstool stands nearby, and you draw it closer with the side of one foot. When your legs rise, the last effort of climbing the stairs leaves them. On the table, the navy book waits. You lift it onto your lap. The brass bookmark opens the pages to the drawing you saw downstairs. The narrow bridge in rain, the little lamp beneath its arch, and the empty path beyond. Here, in the attic room, the drawing seems quieter than before. You study the bridge for a few breaths. The artist has used only ink and pale blue wash. There are no faces, no carriages, no hurried figures. There is only stone, water, lamplight, and rain. On the next page, the same bridge appears in early morning mist. On the page after that, it stands under a clear winter moon. The shape remains the same while the weather moves around it. You turn another page. There is a wooden footbridge over a garden stream, drawn beneath willow branches. Then a broad city bridge at dawn, nearly empty. Then a small plank crossing in a field where grass bends under light wind. Each bridge offers a way across. None insists that you cross tonight. The thought is simple and comforting. You have already traveled enough. You close the book around the brass leaf and set it back on the table. Its story can remain unfinished. The pages will wait until morning, or until some other rainy night. There is no need to reach the last drawing. Below the roof, the rain continues its soft work. It touches the tiles above the bed. It brushes the window. It falls into the canal and becomes part of the water without any sound you can separate from the rest. You sit with your hands resting loosely on the chair arms. The lamp makes a small pool of light over the book, the key, and one corner of the blanket. Beyond that pool, the room fades into calm shadow. The bookshop below has grown still. Now and then, a floorboard settles. Somewhere behind the wall, an old pipe gives a faint, brief murmur. Neither sound disturbs the room. They are the ordinary signs of a building resting into the night. You imagine the shelves downstairs standing patiently in their rows. The books in the reading room are closed. The blue and gray room beside the canal is dark. The cups have been washed and turned upside down to dry. The green door is locked against the weather. The whole building seems to breathe slowly around you. In, out. The walls hold warmth. The roof receives rain. The windows face the sleeping canal. You rise from the chair and lower the lamp until its glow is no brighter than a candle. The brass base is warm under your fingertips. Shadows deepen beneath the roof beams, soft at every edge. Then you sit on the side of the bed. The mattress yields just enough. You remove the wool socks and place them together on the rug. Your feet slide beneath the white sheet. Coolness meets them for a moment, followed almost at once by warmth. You lie back. The broad pillow receives your head and shoulders. The smaller one supports the curve beneath your neck. You draw the gray wool blanket over your legs, your waist, and finally your chest. It has a reassuring weight, not heavy enough to hold you down, only heavy enough to remind the body that it may stop carrying itself. Your shoulders release first. They settle into the mattress, no longer lifted toward the day. Your arms grow still beside you. Your hands rest open, fingers naturally curved. The muscles around your eyes soften. Your jaw loosens. Your tongue rests without effort. The rain gives you nothing to count. There is no pattern to solve. There is only a continuous hush made of countless tiny sounds. You listen as it moves across the sloping roof. Near the ridge, the taps are fine and quick. Above the window, they become rounder. Along the gutter, water gathers into a low silver murmur and travels toward the canal. Every sound moves away from you, across the roof, along the glass, down the gutter, into the dark water below. With each movement, the room becomes quieter inside. The lamp rests beyond your closed eyelids as a dim amber color. The curtain lifts once at its lower edge, although the window is shut. Warm air from the room rises gently toward the glass and lets the cloth fall again. You breathe in the faint lavender of the linen. You breathe out the last cool trace of the rainy street. The town remains outside, but it is no longer separate from your rest. Its lanterns provide the small lights beyond the window. Its canal carries away the rain. Its old roofs make a shelter large enough to include this attic room. You are not required to know the town well. For tonight, it knows how to hold you. Another breath arrives. It leaves more quietly than the one before. Your thoughts begin to lose their sharp edges. If an image returns, it is simple. The navy umbrella leaning safely in its stand, the brass leaf between two pages, the green door closed below, the canal lanterns lengthening across the water. Each image appears, then becomes part of the rain. The umbrella is still. The bookmark keeps your place. The door remains closed. The lanterns remain warm. There is nothing you need to check. There is nothing you need to finish. You let the blanket rise with the next breath and fall with the next. Its weave brushes lightly against your fingertips. The wool holds the warmth that your body gives it, returning that warmth slowly and evenly. Your feet become distant and comfortable. Your calves loosen. The backs of your knees rest without tension. Your thighs grow heavy against the mattress. The softness reaches your hips and lower back. Muscles that have been balancing you all day begin to understand that the bed is doing the work now. The mattress supports every place that needs support. You do not have to help it. You do not have to hold any part of yourself above the surface. The bed holds you. The room holds the bed. The bookshop holds the room. The old canal town holds the bookshop beneath the gentle rain. Layer by layer, you are sheltered. A breeze passes along the canal outside. You hear it only as a slight change in the rain, a softer brushing for several seconds, then the familiar tapping returns. The lantern reflections bend and straighten beyond the half-drawn curtain. Nothing enters the room. Nothing interrupts the night. The iron key remains on the table, though you no longer need to see it. Its purpose is complete. The door is yours for the night. The navy book remains closed. Its bridges can wait. You are already on the other side of the evening, in the place where the journey was leading. The brass bookmark remains between the pages. It holds one quiet moment for later, so you do not have to hold it in your mind. You allow memory to rest inside objects. The key remembers the room. The bookmark remembers the page. The umbrella remembers the rain. You are free to remember nothing at all. The thought passes through you and fades. Your breathing is now so easy that the space between breaths feels wide and calm. Air enters without being pulled. Air leaves without being pushed. At the end of each exhale, there is a small pause in which the entire room seems perfectly still. Then the next breath begins by itself. Rain on the roof, warmth beneath the blanket, dark water beyond the glass. These are enough. The square is empty now. The bakery window is dark. The market tables wait beneath their folded covers. Both bridges shine faintly where rain has polished the stone. The canal carries reflections past closed doors and sleeping rooms. The bookshop's green sign hangs motionless above the street. Inside, stories rest spine to spine. Some tell of distant coasts, high roads, summer gardens, and cities filled with bells. Some contain only letters, recipes, sketches, or the remembered shape of a house. Tonight, none of them needs to open. All those journeys have become quiet paper in the dark. Your own journey becomes quiet too. The first step through the rain no longer asks for a second. The first bridge no longer leads to another street. The green door no longer waits to be found. You are here. The word is small and restful. Here, in the attic room, beneath the wool blanket, above the canal, under a roof touched by light rain. The lamp has become a softer amber behind your eyelids. You could reach to turn it out, but even that is unnecessary. A small wheel at the side of the bed has been set to lower the wick slowly. Minute by minute, the glow fades on its own. The room knows how to become night without your help. You feel the change as darkness gathers gently at the edges. The chair disappears first, then the chest beneath the window, then the green frame and the sloping beams. The rain remains. The blanket remains. Your breath remains, quiet and dependable. The last amber thread lies across the brass tip of the bookmark. It shines for a moment, then dims. Now the room is lit only by the canal lanterns through the uncovered half of the window. Their light is too soft to make shapes. It is only a muted gold presence in the dark. Your thoughts drift farther apart. Between them is not emptiness, but rest. One thought may be the curve of the bridge, then rain. One may be the warmth of apple tea, then the gentle rain. One may be the green door beneath your room, then rain again, smoothing every image until it becomes gentle and indistinct. You no longer follow where the thoughts go. They know their own way out. The body sinks another small measure into the mattress. The pillow has warmed beneath your cheek. The blanket lies evenly from your shoulders to your feet. Your hands have found complete stillness. Outside, a drop gathers at the edge of the gutter. It grows quietly. It falls. The canal receives it among all the others. No single drop has to carry the rain. No single thought has to carry the night. Everything can join the larger quiet. You rest in that understanding without needing to name it. The bookshop settles once more below you. A beam gives a soft wooden sigh. The sound travels upward, touches the room, and disappears. Farther away, water passes beneath the nearest bridge. It moves so slowly that you hear only the faintest, continuous hush. The rain meets it from above. The two sounds blend until there is no edge between falling and flowing. Your breath blends with them. In, like rain arriving. Out, like water moving on. The pauses grow longer. The night grows deeper. You are safe behind the green door. Safe beneath the old roof. Safe above the dark and peaceful canal. The navy umbrella will be ready in the morning, though perhaps the morning will be clear. The book will wait beside the lamp. The brass leaf will still point to the bridge in rain. The iron key will remain exactly where you placed it. Morning can take care of those things when it comes. It is not here yet. Now there is only this quiet hour, and even the hour has no number. You let it pass without measuring. The rain becomes lighter still. There are spaces now between its touches on the window, small silences that open and close. On the roof, the sound remains steady enough to shelter you, but distant enough to let sleep move nearer. Sleep does not approach like a visitor. It gathers like warmth beneath the blanket. It is already around your feet, already resting in your legs, already softening your hands and arms, already moving through the shoulders, the neck, the face. There is nowhere else it needs to go. You do not have to cross a final bridge. You do not have to turn another page. You do not have to listen for the end of the rain. The rain may continue after you stop hearing it. The canal may carry its small reflections through the whole night. The bookshop may keep its rooms warm until morning. All of this can happen without you watching. Your attention loosens. The window becomes only cool darkness nearby. The blanket becomes only warmth. The roof becomes only shelter. The town becomes only a quiet place around you. The last clear image is the little brass leaf resting between the closed pages. It holds your place without effort. It asks nothing. It simply remains. You let it remain. You let the book remain closed. You let the key remain still. You let the canal move through the dark. And beneath the light rain, in the attic room above the green-doored bookshop, you let yourself drift into sleep.